So finally, we have some huge news around the NHL. Max Pacioretty was finally traded from the Montreal Canadiens, and this was kind of inevitable to happen, but we just really didn't know when and where he was going to be traded. But last night around 3 a.m., this news broke in my time. I didn't make a video last night. It was way too late, but today I thought you guys would still want to hear my opinion. So Montreal sent their captain and franchise player, Max Pacioretty, to the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for Thomas Tatar, Nick Suzuki, and a 2019 second-round pick. So going Vegas' way, they're adding a guy who's capable of scoring 30 goals on a regular basis. Last season, he kind of had a rough year, didn't stay healthy for the full 82 games. He only played 64 and had 17 goals and 20 assists for 37 points. And I think he's going to slot in nicely on that second line to play with probably Alex Tuch and Paul Stastny. I think it's going to be a very good line, and this kind of solidifies Vegas as contenders once again, because a lot of people said that they really took a step back this offseason, me included. I thought losing James Neal and David Perron was going to be huge, but I think any day of the week they would take a trade of Paul Stastny and Max Pacioretty for James Neal and David Perron. Amazing what Vegas is doing. Obviously it was a steep price, but that is the price you have to pay to get a 30 goal scorer. Really the only risk here for Vegas is if Max Pacioretty decides to not re-sign, but right now I think they should immediately start talking contract extensions with him. He's only 29. I think he'll probably get anywhere from 7 to 8 mil for probably around 5 years, and I don't see any reason why he wouldn't want to re-sign. Amazing fan base in Vegas. They just made the Stanley Cup final, and obviously it's an amazing place to live. So all in all, I think this is a really good trade for Vegas, and they definitely hit the jackpot here. It's no Erik Karlsson, but it certainly does add a lot of firepower, and their attack is getting that much more deadly with this pickup. And now, obviously, heading Montreal's way, you're getting a guy in Thomas Tatar who can slot into your lineup right now, and he's a guy who didn't really play well last season. Obviously, he was scratched throughout the playoffs and a little bit towards the end of the regular season for Vegas, but I don't really think he had enough time to really gel into their lineup, but he's a guy who's going to get a lot of opportunity, in my opinion, to do very, very well in Montreal, play a top 6 role, get power play minutes. I mean, this guy is only 27 years old, and he has scored 29 goals before, so he definitely is capable of 30 goals, and in my opinion being a player who can put up 56 or 60 points. So a pretty good pickup there for Montreal in Thomas Tatar. Obviously a little bit of his salary was retained, same goes for Max Pacioretty, but obviously it is a downgrade for Max Pacioretty, but that obviously is what is going to happen as you're getting a prospect, a guy who's a decent NHLer right now in Thomas Tatar, and obviously a draft pick. Now looking at Nick Suzuki, the big piece in this move for the Montreal Canadiens, a team that is lacking at the center position. Obviously they do have Poling and Jesperi Kotkaniemi, but you can never have too many centers, and getting Nick Suzuki, an amazing prospect who put up 100 points this past season in the OHL, 42 goals, 45 goals the year before. This guy, in my opinion, is the real deal, the 13th overall pick in the 2017 draft, and I think Montreal fans have to be really happy with this. Obviously, this trade does signal you are heading in a rebuilding direction, but you have guys like Jonathan Drouin, Kotkaniemi, you have Victor Mete, Hudon, and then Nick Suzuki now as well. Obviously trying to stockpile the draft picks too. I think this could be a little bit of a quicker rebuild. In the next couple of years we could see them kind of back into contention for a playoff spot. I think Nick Suzuki is going to do wonders for this team, and it's kind of a better opportunity because there was a lot of people he would have had to surpass to get a lot of playing time in Vegas, and not really so much in Montreal. Now with Pacioretty gone, you really only have guys like Drouin, Gallagher, and obviously guys like that are really solidified on that team. So for Nick Suzuki and for Montreal, this, in my opinion, is a really good trade. If I had to pick right now who won this trade, I probably would say the Vegas Golden Knights, just because they're getting a franchise player. I wouldn't really say franchise, an all-star caliber player who was the captain of a Canadian team, 30-plus goal scorer, and he definitely is still capable of doing that for a couple more seasons in my opinion. So a fantastic trade for Vegas, but I'm not really throwing Montreal under the bus because I like this from their perspective as well. You're getting Nick Suzuki, and in my opinion, getting one really good prospect is better than getting two decent ones, and that is what they did with Suzuki. He was a high draft pick by Vegas, and for Vegas fans, I know you're going to miss Suzuki as you were really excited for him, but you still have Cody Glass and Eric Brandstrom, a lot of really good prospects still in that system, and you were able to give up one, and you still have some really good ones left over. Obviously, he's not Erik Karlsson, but he is a fantastic player, and I definitely think he's going to do wonders for Vegas, and I think this is a rare case where a trade could just work out fantastically for both teams, and that's a really nice thing to see. I'm glad Montreal hasn't really lost a trade for once, as it's looking like they're going to lose that Sergachev trade, as Duren really isn't panning out as their number one center, and then they made that Domi for Galchenyuk trade, which was controversial, but this one I can say with confidence that it was a solid trade for Montreal, and they didn't lose this one. But I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. Do you think Montreal won? Do you think Vegas won? Let me know your thoughts on the trade down in the comment section below. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content, and I will see you guys all in the next video.